It's until you've actually lived it, experienced it. It's so passionate, the fan base, it's what makes everybody's weekend every single time.
It's ingrained in our culture up here in Scotland, and certainly the passion, in my opinion, is second to none. It can make or break your week.
More, I would say, about the passion throughout the nation, to be honest.
I'm very much new to the role as head coach of the women's team within the club. So a bit about my past. I've only ever played for Hibernian. Came through the youth ranks with them, right through to the first team. Played 507 games. Captained the team along the way. And yeah, retired. I'm a season and a half now post retirement. So. Yeah, it was a journey, a really exciting journey, fabulous club, and just recently I received an award from Athletic Bilbao, a One Club Women Award, so it just signifies the importance of loyalty and commitment to one club, so I was truly honoured and privileged to receive that in the middle of the San Mamés. Alongside Jamie Carragher, so a great profile within the game. So yeah, my career's been an exciting one, an enjoyable one, and I'm glad to have spent it at this club. Yeah, absolutely. The game in Scotland in particular is evolving season upon season. The difference from when I first started to now has been enormous, and it's not just on the pitch stuff, it's off the pitch, resources, the facilities. We're always evolving and growing, and the game's getting bigger and better, and I think that recognition from a prestigious club like Athletic Bilbao just shows you just how much on the map the Scottish women's game is. Yeah,
I think I've had quite a smooth introduction to it in terms of my decision to stop playing wasn't through injury or anything like that. I still had actually time on my contract as well, so it was a decision that I had to think about. I got offered the opportunity from Jack Ross, was the head coach at the time. I still had a year left on my contract to become his first team coach. That was something that I was always recommended to play for as long as you possibly can. Everyone says that, my dad especially. You want to play for as long as you can, best years of your life. Opportunity for the next the way I've seen it, for the next potential 20, 30 years of potential earnings, and wanted to stay in the game. The opportunity to come in at such a high level at a club that I'd been at for, it's 11 years I've been here now, but at the time, 8 years, as you say, club captain, had a very successful time here, loved the club, loved everything about it, but also the people I was working with. I knew what was going into then, so it was like a soft introduction into the coaching side. Probably made it easier for me around the players as well. It wasn't as if I was going straight into to become first team coach and taking all the training. Jack was a very hands-on coach, and the whole time I was looking at it, learning, studying, and mastering, or trying to master as best as possible, what I believed a good Hibs team could potentially look like one day. And you take the pros and cons from every coach I've ever worked with. Then, given the opportunity at the end of that, I think it was 2 years now, 18 months ago, to become head coach for the first time. I think the big thing for us was the process at the start. So me having a clear picture on where I sit within the recruitment process, where I sit within ideas moving forward, and then what my full job description is, which is the biggest part of that is obviously trying to win games of football and making players better every single day, and driving a culture and a standard within this building every single day. And I think that's something that we've done really well. I think it's been quite evident in terms of the progress we've made in 18 months. That's one big benefit, Malky, understanding, having been a manager before, and his role as sporting director, and being that link between the head coach and the ownership. I think that is a huge role. And he is that buffer in between, certainly, and I think the biggest part of that, and the one thing that I think makes a successful team, is the consistency within it. So win, lose or draw, we're very consistent on how we approach things before and after games, in terms of our contact with Malky, in terms of contact with ownership. But the consistency is the big thing, so it's not as if we win a game, the sporting director straight down after the game. If we lose a game, you don't see the sporting director. I think it's very important that there is consistency across the board. It just allows us all to, there's nothing to hide, everyone can be very clear on the clarity. And I think that's been a big part of it, and a big benefit to me, certainly.
Yeah, 100%. I think Malky's very process driven. He's someone who for me certainly has empowered me to work within a structure, work within a process, but very much wants me to put my personal touch on things. So yeah, like I said, new to the role, and in particular the last few weeks, he's allowed me to really add value where we as head coaches want to be adding value, whilst kind of delegating above and kind of signposting things accordingly. I think it's massively important. I think, especially in the women's game up here in Scotland, when there's not an abundance of money, salaries in comparison to down south, WSL 1, 2, it's not even comparable. So I think for me, it's massively important. I would always encourage any player playing up here to go and have a qualification. Doesn't need to be in football, but certainly a qualification, because football doesn't last forever. There's life after football, and if you can set yourself up in the best possible way to finish football and step into the next chapter of your career, then I would certainly recommend it.
I think the passion that it comes from the fan base, I think, and the demands upon it. I think I've been fortunate enough to play in England, being part of football in England, and then coming home, and I think it's until you've actually lived it, experienced it, it's so passionate, the fan base. It's what makes everybody's weekend every single time, good or bad, and I think that's something that really drives you on, and it really hits home when you win. And certainly when you lose, you feel it as well. So I think it's more, I would say, about the passion throughout the nation, to be honest.
Yeah, I would absolutely echo that. It's ingrained in our culture up here in Scotland, and certainly the passion, in my opinion, is second to none. It can make or break your week. So absolutely echo everything that Dave said there.